In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing 3 Evoc hip packs. Welcome to Dusty Betty. My name is Tess. Before we get into the review for today, I just want to remind you to click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to this channel. And if you find some of the information in this video helpful, please give it a like as well. That helps other people find my videos. Another way that you can help support this channel is to purchase products from my partners using the links in the description. Evoc sent me these hip packs to review, and I have been using them for about a year. They're not the sponsor of this video, nor have they been a sponsor on this channel. These were given to me to use and to review, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I've been running these 3 packs for a year now, so this is not just a quick out-of-the-box review. I've put some serious miles on these. Before I get into the reviews, I thought it would be helpful to share a little bit about my rider profile. I'm 5 feet 4 inches tall, and I am a size 2 or 25 in jeans. I live in Sedona, Arizona, and the riding is year-round here, and we do have some pretty hot, dry summers. Another thing I think that's helpful for you guys to know is how and where on my waist I wear these packs. So I like to run my hip packs with the belt right around the level of my belly button. If you wear it with the belt kind of across your belly button, then the pack itself is going to sit in the small of your back, and it's just going to be a much more form-fitted, and it's going to keep the pack secure. Wear your pack however you like, but just for the sake of this review, that is maybe just a little bit helpful for you to know how and where I wear my pack. Another nice thing about wearing your belt of your hip pack at about this height is that it's just below the smallest part of your waist, which means if you need to get something out of your pack, you probably won't need to take it off. You can just shift your pack up to that narrowest part of your waist, swing it around to the front, get what you need, swing it back around, and then you just lower it about an inch or so until it's right back over your belly button. If you like to wear your hip pack lower than this might still work, but it could be a little bit harder to get that pack back in place. There are a lot of great hip packs out there, and some of them are coming from smaller companies. So if you run a hip pack and you have a favorite, make sure you post it in the comments below because I'm curious what you guys are running. All right, so first I'm going to talk about the Evoc Hip Pouch 1 liter. This is a really small, minimal hip pouch. It's quite thin. Even when you put stuff in it, it doesn't expand to be very big. This is a really minimal setup, and it's got these 2 little mesh pockets. They don't have a closure, but they do have elastic at the top to help hold things in if you use those. They also do have a little hip pocket on each side. Those are also that kind of stretchy mesh material. Those are great for sticking like chapstick or something like that in. It is not a very big this way kind of pocket, but it's fairly wide, so it's nice because I could fit my Lezyne pump. This thing is pretty small, and I can fit it in there with an inch or 2 to spare, which was really awesome. I like to avoid using CO2 cartridges as much as possible just to avoid waste. It also has one of the little key latches, which is kind of handy, and then it has this elastic stretchy mesh pockets. There are 3 separate ones you can use to help organize your tools. So it's a very minimal pack, but it's still got a lot of great features. And this one is kind of my favorite one to run when I don't need a ton of water, maybe in the cooler months, or if I'm taking one of my bikes that holds multiple water bottles just on the frame. So that is what I like to use this one for. I found it pretty comfortable and it breathes quite well. It sits so close to your back that there is no waddle, and like most of my Evoc packs, it's been quite durable. The one gripe that I do have about this pack is that if you're kind of lean like I am, it's cinched down so much that it's almost completely maxed out. So if you're much smaller than me, and there are definitely people out there who are, especially female riders, you're not going to be able to really maximize this pack unless I don't know, maybe there are things you could do to tweak this one, but this one is almost completely maxed out for how tight you can get it. All right, next let's have a look at the Evoc Hip Pack 3 liter. This one comes with a 1.5 liter water reservoir and with the little hose. So This will go inside the pack. The hose runs out through the side, across to the little magnet thing on the clip across your front. Now, one thing that can be really tough with the hip packs that run a water reservoir is that the straw, a lot of times the magnet doesn't like to stay magneted to that when you're riding on bumpy stuff, and it can sometimes come off right when you don't need it, when you're like riding down something kind of steep and gnarly and chunky. But these do have their advantages too. It's a pretty simple setup, and it's nice to be able to just drink from the straw and not have to mess around with water bottles. It's easier to do while you're moving. So that's kind of the advantage of doing the ones with a water reservoir. So it has some similar features to the 1 liter, where it's got these little hip pockets here. And those are super handy. This one has the little key hook latch thing in it. Usually I put a key and chapstick in these. And then if you come over here and look at this part right here, this zips down. You can zip down one side just to grab something, or you can just access it from the top, or you can zip both down. You see you've got the elastic mesh pockets divided into 3. And then we just Velcro that closed again. So that's a great place to stash some of your tools. And here, this is where we put the water reservoir. The 1.5 liter water reservoir will fit in there, and Velcro onto there. And there is also a little bit of room right here where you could put, that's probably where I would put like my pump and maybe a few other things like that. These packs, a lot of times the water reservoir ones will have these little side things, because as you drink from the water reservoir, the pack kind of becomes loose and may start to waddle a little bit. So as you drink your water on your ride, you do want to kind of cinch these little ones on either side down, and that will keep it snug and fitting really well. So even though this is a 3 liter pack, by the time you get 1.5 liters of water in there, you're really just going to be able to carry a few small tools. Maybe if you're lucky, you could stuff like a windbreaker in there if you needed to, but it's going to be hard to fit much else than just kind of a few of the basic tools in here. And I actually use the Evoc multi-frame pack to carry all my flat tire repair stuff. So that makes this a little bit less full, because this thing used to just be jammed and stuffed completely full all the time with a tube and all that stuff. So that is how I run this one. It's done really well. I feel like in general, Evoc packs fit really well across the small on my back and snug down really well. And they don't waddle as much as some of the other packs that I've run. I had a bikng pack that was quite similar to this, but I just had a really hard time getting it to stay and fit snug all the time. It tended to kind of wag back and forth as I would pedal, but the Evoc one has fit really well, and it stays in place while I ride. I feel like these things that they have on it really help it stay cinched in place. So you have it kind of cinched down across the buckle, but then they have these, I don't know what those would be called, but these additional ones that you run through it, and it just keeps, however you've snugged it down to fit you, it just kind of keeps it in that position. That really does make a big difference. Now, again, this one is pretty close to maxed out. In the summer, I usually will be a little bit leaner. I'll lose a little more, so it pretty much will be completely maxed out by the time we hit summer. So pretty much with all hip packs, that's like the biggest thing for me, is I think it would be helpful for smaller riders if companies started offering maybe a large and a small size. Mostly just kind of configuring the waistband to have a little more options. I'd even be willing to lose like an inch in these side pockets to gain a little bit more range on the belt. I think could be helpful for those of us who are a little bit smaller, but it's been a great pack, plenty durable. The orange color was really fun, stood out, really popped, but obviously if you go with the lighter color as opposed to like the black or something darker like that, it's going to be a little harder to keep clean, but ended up being a really fun color. Their packs breathe pretty nicely so that you're not getting completely soaking wet. And if you haven't run a hip pack before, if you've been running a backpack, backpacks are awesome too, and I will still bust out a backpack when I need ultimate capacity for water and gear. But when you can run a hip pack, one of the nicest things is that your entire back doesn't get sweaty. You just have this sitting across the small of your back, and this one breathes pretty well. The last one that I want to take a look at is actually my favorite. This is the Evoc Hip Pack Pro 3 liter. So it's a quite similar pack to the other 3 liter one. And I'll kind of go over some of the things that are similar first, and then I'll kind of point out some of the things that make this one a little bit different. So it has pretty much the exact same design across the front, where you have this pocket that you could access from the top, or if you wanted to, you could zip it down one side or both. It's got the 3 pockets with the mesh and elastic. And in here, it can take a 1.5 liter water reservoir. Same kind of system here, and then a little bit of room for a little more gear or a pump or something like that. We also have the side hip pockets, which these are so handy for just those little things that are nice to keep handy and easy to get at. So obviously, one of the biggest differences between this and the other 3 liter pack are that you can also run water bottles on this. You can run tall ones, medium ones, short ones, whatever, but you just have the little elastic mesh pockets. You have this additional strap you can use to cinch that down if you're riding really bumpy stuff and you're worried about losing those, and then these little elastic rings will fit over the nozzle there to help keep these on firmly. And I have been loving this. Running water bottles, the nice thing about running water bottles instead of a water reservoir is that they are much easier to clean at the end of every ride, and I really love that. And I can also run like Tailwind nutrition in one and just plain water in another, so that is really nice about this pack. The other thing that makes this one quite different is the cinching system is it's so comfortable. It has this kind of wider strap waistband. It's not just like a webbing one. And so you've got some Velcro that you use to kind of snug that down. And then you've also got the buckle to really secure it into place. But I just feel like this one, it doesn't quite dig in as much as, most of the hip pack straps that feel like the webbing can kind of dig in a little bit. So I haven't had huge problems with other hip packs, but when I compare this, it is quite comfortable the way that this waistband works. Now, as I said with the other packs, one of my biggest gripes is the sizing. I feel like they could really benefit from having a large and small size in most hip packs. And this isn't just Evoc, this is pretty much across the board with all hip packs. But especially because of this design, it is pretty dang well maxed out. I love this pack, so I'm probably actually going to cut and sew this back together so that it will continue to work for me in the summer when I become a little bit more lean, because I really love all of the features in this pack, but the sizing is a problem. So these are your little cinchy down things that you need if you need to kind of tighten it as you drink your water. Now, this can run, the water reservoir or bottles or both. I feel like it's hard to get the full 1.5 liters in here when I'm running both, especially if I have, a pump or maybe a couple other things in the pack. So I tend to just maybe get a little bit, maybe 1.25 liters in here is about right if I'm running both. But that's still great. That allows you to have a lot of additional capacity. And then if you can carry a water bottle cage on your bike as well, that's a lot of capacity. So I think that's one of the things that I like most about this is just its maximum versatility. I'll use my water bottles for my day-to-day rides, but I can use a water reservoir in addition if I need to. And in the wintertime, when I don't usually need the water reservoir, it means there's even more room in this main pocket. So if I peel off a layer during my ride, there is actually room to stuff a jacket or a half zip fleece or something in there, which is really, really cool. So I would say out of the 3, this one is probably my favorite just because of all of the versatility you get, but also because of the way that the waistband works. If you are smaller than me, this pack is not going to fit you. If you're really handy and you don't mind taking in the waistband, you can make it work. But I just feel like that's a really good thing for smaller riders to be aware of going in, is that this pack might not fit you. So all in all though, I have really enjoyed running these packs. The Evoc packs are just really well dialed. They come very rich in features, and the textiles and all of the things that they use, you can tell they've just had a lot of time to perfect and research where all the wear happens on these, so that they just are really durable and, you know, got some awesome, really handy, convenient features. But I'd love to know from you guys, what are your favorite hip packs? What are you running? Post in the comments below. If you decide to buy any of these Evoc packs or any of my other favorite products, make sure that you use my links in the description. That really helps me out when you guys do that. How do you guys like seeing reviews come from this channel? Is this something you want to see more of? And if so, what products would you like to see me review? And if there is a product that you would like to see me review, consider reaching out to the company who makes that product as well, because they're way more likely to send me something to review if they know you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts on it. I really tried to put a lot of time into running these packs and putting them through their paces before I put out a review, so I hope you guys really appreciate that. That's something that's really important to me with the reviews that I do. I don't like to do just like a quick out-of-the-box thing. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you check out some of these other videos that are linked, because I think you'll enjoy them as well. Thanks so much for watching. Get dusty.